Breaking as we come on the air right now, another chaotic night in downtown LA. Federal agents deployed tear gas after agitators in the crowd outside the federal building began throwing fireworks, rocks, and bottles at them. One of our eyewitness news crews captured this video as the violence escalated just about an hour ago.
You can see some people trying to flee the area. LAPD returning that fire with some tear gas canisters and flares flying through the night sky. The city of Los Angeles is now on a citywide tactical alert that the LAPD has issued here. Several streets around the federal building, site of so much trouble and unrest at various points over the last year, is basically a hot spot again tonight. Traffic is closed off as the LAPD is working to disperse this crowd. Air 7 capturing video of some of those fireworks being set off a short time ago. After last night's unrest, First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley requested more federal officers, saying they are authorized to arrest anyone engaged in violence on the spot. President Trump also doubling down, saying he has instructed ICE and the Border Patrol to be forceful in their protection of federal government property. This is a live look right now at the intersection of Alameda and Temple. There was a line of LAPD officers blocking off Alameda. That is the access point to the federal building. We have seen several people behind that line. We believe it's dark there in the shadows, but being taken into custody. Many of those people will spend the night in jail. This is a repeat of what we saw last night when some of those demonstrators got incredibly close onto federal property, right up into the vehicle entrance to this federal building, something we had not seen play out in any of the protests previous to last night.
And while things did get chaotic briefly tonight, things were much calmer than they were last night. You can see there appear to be just a few dozen people remaining in the streets defying police orders to leave that area. Police had issued a dispersal order several times, so people standing in the middle of that intersection are subject to arrest. But as you just noted, Jory, those police officers appear to be hanging back a bit, but traffic is blocked off in that area.
Right. We saw a vehicle in the middle of this intersection a short time ago and some people gathering. LAPD officers there launched some kind of less lethal, non-lethal projectiles, perhaps tear gas, flashbangs. Something was launched into that intersection and the car cleared out, but some of the people remained. You can see there are people on foot, someone on a bike, some people hanging back, just kind of watching and seeing how this is playing out. We're told there was, after that large demonstration earlier today on the steps of City Hall, some people came back. Most of the people, or all of that crowd, had basically left the scene, and once the sun went down, they came back to the scene and are looking to cause, apparently looking to cause some trouble tonight.
And our Carly Gomez was out there earlier this afternoon as that protest began just about 2 o'clock this afternoon. That started outside City Hall. There were several hundred people involved in that peaceful protest. Some marched through the streets and some, as that crowd broke up, then this is when we see people showing up at the federal building, as has happened multiple times here in Los Angeles over the past few months.